Hi, everyone. Great morning. This is Pratiba Day from Chai Together. You are tuning in for your cup of courage, hope, and imagination today. So, recently I was asked regarding changing my acronym from Chai regarding courage, hope, and imagination to inspiration. And I was telling the person that it's imagination for a reason because the stories that are shared are resonating with those who have to walk in their shoes through using their visualization and imagination. So that's why we are Chai together today. I just wanted to let everyone know that's why the acronym is the way it is, and I want to keep it as that. And today I have with me Chancey, who is a former coworker of mine, and we're going to tap in and talk about her life journey. And I wanted to let you all know that I do have mugs in stock now. So if you would like a mug, I originally designed this myself. If you've been watching me for these 2 years, we're almost 2 years young now. That you can get a mug if you would like. You can contact me and I will provide you the details. How are you feeling, Chancey?
Listen, with all that's going on today, I can choose to be in a slumber, but I choose to be
Mm.
positive and to look forward and to know that whatever happens, I'm good. God's got me.
I have to say, like when I first met you, so Chancey and I are former coworkers. And when I first met you, you always carried a book with you or a Bible, and you always spoke
Yeah.
about the word. You want to talk about that? Like, when did you first start, getting involved with
So,
your
so the
religion?
interesting thing is that, I grew up I grew up going in church, primarily Baptist,
Mhm.
so I grew up in North Jersey. I'm from Newark and Irvington, New Jersey.
Wow.
So primarily Baptist. That's what we did. We just went to Tabernacle Baptist Church, and every now and then I would go with friends as a guest to their churches, and they were in different denominations. But because I like learning other people's thought process, their beliefs, why they believe what they believe, I've been with the Jehovah Witness. I've been with I've talked to the people who practice Hinduism and Buddhism. Like
Ooh.
everything is just so awesome. It all comes down to faith. Whatever everyone else chooses to believe, whom they believe, the key factor is faith and all of that. So when I was younger, I wasn't strong into the word at all. Like still now, it's a journey. It's just like when you're younger, you're forced to go to church. It's come to church, hurry up, get your stockings, look nice, and make sure you eat these peppermints and don't fall asleep.
Oh my
So
gosh, I never heard that one before.
yeah,
The
the
sugar
older women
rush.
will always have peppermints in their pocket. So it's like you're hungry. It's like here, hurry up, have a peppermint. Leave me alone. I'm praising and worshiping, but you better not fall asleep. Then I fall asleep. So primarily that's what it was growing up. And then when I got into my teen years, I kind of like drifted away because we weren't forced to go to church. And I just was like doing my own thing in life. So I didn't follow going to church. I always had a fear of God and making the wrong decisions. I was like a scary child when it came to that. I was the one who was not trying to dabble in stuff that was too crazy that all the other young people were like interested in doing. I was like, no, I'm gonna die if I take that pill. I'm gonna die if I smoke that once. So I was a nervous one, but I really wasn't into it. So yeah, it only became I had to go through things in life. I had to have life experiences on my own, no matter what people told me about the word, about God, about whomever they chose to serve. I had to experience my own walk. And it was rough. It was rough. So to be able to sit here today, to be able to speak with you, to be able to fight through tears, hurt, and pain is still a blessing in it all.
Wow. Someone said, I always said the world would be a better place if we have a relationship with our faith versus religion. What are your
Yes,
thoughts on that?
that's that's beautiful because people, it's the label. You
Hmm.
know, individuals and groups of people need to stop putting labels on what people choose to believe. You choose to believe in what you believe, and you choose to respect what other people choose to believe, but it's your faith. And if that works for you, let it work for you. And don't put a label. You can't be so stern to ask, oh, this is my religion, I'm Catholic, I'm Buddhist, I'm Hinduism. Like all those things, or I practice Islam. Why can't we just have a genuine conversation where we both just love life and we both just know like this is what drives us?
Mhm.
It's the label that turns people off, but we can always agree to disagree. I can
Mhm.
always respect you for what you believe, and you can always respect me for what I believe. We may not agree, but as long as the respect is there and we both share faith, we share that, that's the same.
Have you lost friends over this conversation?
Um, I don't think I lost friends over this conversation
Mhm.
because primarily the person that I am, I'm just genuine and I'm just curious in all things. So, when I have conversations with people and I talk to people about, what they believe in, I'm not going to argue with you. I'll be like, okay, if that's what you do, that's what you love, that's what you like, great. So
Mm.
I don't think I lost friends. I've learned before that there's no need to have an argumentative conversation. Um, when it's your time and whatever walk that is for you in this journey of life, you'll know what's for you.
Wow. That's why the thumbnail, I don't know if you saw it. I wrote, to be authentic is to be you. And I was like, you fit that so well. That's why I named it what I did, is because you were coming on here to talk and you're
Yes,
genuine. And I felt, that you were always genuine. Like I never had any fluctuating like feelings about you. You always were standing in your own individualism.
yes. I
I
mean,
see
it's
you.
it's
You're going in and out. I see you.
yeah, it's because I was getting calls every now and then, but to me, that's the most awesome thing. To have someone who's authentic and genuine is so beautiful. You can sense that, you can feel that. To have someone so authentic, I'd rather respect you to be genuinely you, even if that's a negative thing. Even if you don't agree and you don't like things that I do, and you might have negative things to say about me, but I'd rather you show me the real you
Mm-hmm.
than to put on a facade just to be in my space or
Mm.
just to get the notoriety from me, or from you knowing me. Just be who you are.
That's the experience I'm going through with people around me in relationships. And it's easy to say you accept someone for who they are, but when you're someone who's driven, like me, as someone who's an ambitious person and wants to bring change to the world, I've learned about personal choice now that, it's not my place if someone doesn't want to change. Not that I want to fix them, but that I see better for them and I can see what they could be, and to like let go of all those attachments, even though I want the best for them. Maybe their soul doesn't want that. Like in this lifetime, I was
Right.
speaking to someone who's spiritual and a
Yes.
shaman. Do you know of shamans?
I do not.
So shamans are spiritual readers, like they can read your energy and things of that nature. And I was in a sound bath session in person where I went to Atlanta, Georgia, and there was this woman there, and I was telling her about what goes on with my mom, and she was saying that for me, that I am suffering the experience because I'm wanting that for her, but her soul may not want that in this lifetime. Like, in life, when there's people who are addicted to drugs or other certain things, and it's because their soul can't shift, like their soul hasn't shifted. It's deeper than a diagnosis and deeper than an addiction. It's more so that their soul needs to go through this maybe tragic experience or living in misery, to pass on to what they need to for their next lifetime, if those who believe in that. And that really resonated with me because for me, I feel my soul shifted within these 10
Okay.
years that I knew you, that when I was unwell, like I had suicide ideations and I was clinically depressed. Even when I had a smile on my face, or even during the times when you knew me, but I was suffering in silence on the inside about things I never told anyone, like those secrets when you're sexually abused and things of that nature, and you want to spread love into the world. And I was always kind to others, I felt, but inside, no one knew my pain. So it's kind of like that, perhaps for my mom or other people who are experiencing what she is with, the psychotic diagnosis, that may be what their soul needs to do. And that's like for me to let go of that attachment towards wanting to heal that for her, because I can't force it to heal, you know?
Right. Right. Absolutely. And that's interesting. I think that's why a lot of times I'm drawn to, so many people, and people are drawn to me because
Hmm.
we can carry the smile, we can carry the joy, but there's so much that we've experienced and people don't know that, but they can feel that energy.
Yeah.
So they want to be around you. They want to stay connected because they sense that there's something similar. So, of course, when I met you, I'm sure that I was going through much. I'm sure that I
Yeah.
was going through so much when I met you, but I feel like whatever trauma that I'm experiencing, it's very unfair. It's very, very unfair to, put that upon somebody else.
Hmm.
My joy comes from seeing the joy in others. It's sometimes we need to talk, we need to share, and you don't know what everybody is going through, but sometimes that healing comes from speaking to somebody and understanding that you're not the only one that's going through this thing in silence. You don't have to go through silence.
Hmm.
We have much similarities, and I think I've been through so much trauma, and I've been through so much pain, when it
Yep.
comes to just relationships with my children's dad, because
Oh, yeah.
society will have you believing that you have to live your life based on society rules. And as children, we're taught that very young. They say, hey, you need to grow up, you need to get this good job, you need to maintain good grades, you need to find a spouse, you need to get married, you don't live, don't have a child out of wedlock, don't. It's so many things that they tell you not to do, but ultimately you still have to go through your own life experiences, and you have to trip and fall sometimes, and you have to learn. And I had to get to a point where I said, screw society rules.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn, because, one thing is that I'm one mom. I do not have the same dad for my children. And
Hmm.
in the beginning, it beat me up so bad because I was like, oh my God, I'm a statistic. Oh my
Hmm.
God, I'm living this way. And this is so bad. Like, everyone is going to talk about me. And I was so depressed and I was so stressed because it's not like us women, you know, I'm speaking for myself and a whole lot of other women. We just don't go through life and like, hey, guess what? I'm just going to choose to have different dads,
Yeah.
multiple fathers, and that's just my life. We get in these situations, and in our mind and in our hearts, we believe it is absolutely going to work, but it doesn't happen that way. So, what I had to learn is, yeah, I may have different dads for my children, but I'm one mother. I'm one mother. I'm doing all the work.
Yeah.
So, whatever society says, hey, screw you, society, because I'm the one who has to experience this journey through life myself as an individual.
Wow. It's so good talking to you because I've never talked to you. We've never talked about these things and being, more wise over our years. So when
Yeah.
I met you, you were working on getting your house. That's the house? Is that the house?
I know. So, when you met me, I was working on that, but unfortunately, I
Mhm.
still have not yet received a house. I have had
Okay.
so many bumps in the road. And in all honesty, let me tell you, I say being authentic is just what I do. Where you see me sitting now is where I'm renting.
Wow.
And this is the second time in life where I had to hurry up and vacate. Where I'm at right now, I need to vacate immediately because the owner chose to sell. Do you
Wow.
know how scary that is in this day and age, not knowing where I'm going to go for myself and my children, but I
Yeah.
still choose to have a smile? I literally have less than a month to find a place for myself and my children.
Wow.
And I've been stressed beyond measure. I've been crying beyond measure. I've been having anxiety attacks beyond measure. But because I have people around me who genuinely care, who genuinely have a heart, it
Wow.
has sustained me. And at the time, it was like so many issues. Of course, they hold the stupidness of your freaking student loans,
Oh
the
yeah.
debt to income ratio. You got to make three times the
It's
amount
not,
of the
yeah.
rent. It Hello, it's very insane. It's very insane and it's very crazy. So of course, when I was on the journey to get a home, um, I was working. I wanted to do my master's. I wanted to complete my master's. And I was like, okay, do I get this home loan or do I complete, my master's because this is something that I want to do.
Hmm.
So I decided, okay, I'm not going to go for the home loan.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for my master's. In the journey of getting my master's, which
Mhm.
was an accelerated course online,
That's a lot.
in the journey of getting my master's accelerated course, I was going through hurrying up, having to vacate from a 4 bedroom house, having to downsize to a 2 bedroom with 3 children. Now I'm in an accelerated course in my master's degree, and all of a sudden, I receive a call. My sister goes to visit my cousin who was having a baby, not knowing at all that that baby would be placed in foster care,
Wow.
not knowing at all that I would be asked to take this child in an accelerated master's class, downsizing from a 4 bedroom to a 2 bedroom with 3 children, and now I'm asked to take on another child.
What?
I took on that child because my heart could not allow me to let a child go into foster care. And they took the child from the mom literally 3 days after she gave birth. And I was like, Lord, how am I going to make this happen? How am I going to pass having a foster child in my house? And I had to downsize, literally in the master's program, literally having to go through foster care classes. But guess what? It all worked out as it was supposed to, because in these foster care classes was same the similar classes that I was doing in my master's class, and it all revolved around trauma. It all revolved around trauma. It all revolved around poverty in America and
Mm.
what all the young people are going through. And I've learned so much. And I've had to shed some tears and I've had to stay up late nights for papers while still now brand new again to rocking a newborn baby because she was 1 month when she came to me.
Wow.
So I'm halfway into a master's class. I have 3 children of my own, and now I got a new, fresh baby. I have to do making bottles all over again, packing baby bags over again, getting to daycare on time, making sure my kids are in school, and getting to work. So when I get to this point in my life now, some people are probably wondering, like, why haven't you lost your whole entire mind yet? I asked myself why I didn't lose my mind yet. And I said, there must be something still that I have to offer to this world that I'm still sustaining and my mental is still there. Because even in these troubling times that I'm going through it, I say, Lord, I'm still here. God, I'm still breathing. There has to be more for me. And even though it looks like it's a bad situation, there has to be something that I have to learn in this situation. This is another humbling experience that I have to learn. So you guys, send those great vibes, send all those good things my way because I'm trusting that something good has to happen out of this.
You're remarkable. I've never heard a story like that. A child you didn't ask for. But I know it happens often, but you may not hear about it, where people take
Yeah.
in other people's children and raise them. But you're doing this alone.
Yes.
That's the part. And you're so soft spoken. And since I ever knew you, like it's just your voice. It's how you carry yourself, right? Like I've never heard
Yeah.
you raise your voice unless you were laughing.
Or unless my children drive me crazy.
I haven't heard that
That's
yet.
that
But
sets the part.
and you look gorgeous. Like it's like you look like you care for
Thank you.
yourself, you know?
Yeah, I have my days, but I try the best that I can, to
Wow.
every now and then get in those moments of just appreciating me. I feel like a lot of times our biggest downfall is not having a relationship with yourself.
Hmm.
And even in my pain when it came to, intimate relationship with partners and things like that. And I was like so broken. I was like broken. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, why do I keep going through this repetitive cycle with,
Yeah.
brokenness and loss of love and loss of self-worth? And I was like, you know what? I need to know me. I don't know who I am. I need to sit down and have a talk with me. I need to have a drink with me. I need to have dinner with me. I need to watch a movie with me because we're so used to having someone. It's good to have someone next to you, with you, loving on you. But if you're not able to yet do that with yourself first and be okay with that, then you shouldn't be trying to hurry up and look for someone else to validate you and comfort you.
Mm. Wow. So mature. And that is true wisdom. I agree with that because I also had the same pattern and I kept wondering, why am I dating the same kind of people again and again? And it's a pattern within me that I'm attracting that.
Right.
So where do you, so now you have to vacate this place. So there are a few people I want to connect you with after this, but I do see you as someone who's a motivational speaker, someone who I could see on stages and have your own nonprofit, maybe, and just do something more impactful. I feel like the time will come when you do that. What do you
Oh,
think?
it's funny you say that because that's always been my dream. Like that's I see it. You know how they say you got to see it,
Yes.
make it plain. I've always seen myself on stages. I've always seen myself speaking to people because I can do it so well. I'm
Yeah.
not afraid. It's like if somebody was out right now and there was thousands of people in an arena and they said, "Hey, you know what, Chancey? I need you to come out and talk to them real quick and talk to them about this or that." For me, I'm like, "Oh, okay," because that is just what I do. I'm not afraid to share my testimony. I'm not afraid to say, hey, you know, I've gone through some things in life and it's broken me, but I've overcame. And you don't have to look like what you've been through. And I feel like, I have so much books in me. I write poetry. I write
Yeah.
about my life. I've just never purchased anything, but it's always been spoken over my life as to that is what I'm supposed to be doing. That's where I need to be in life. So that's my ultimate goal. And more especially, I want to reach out to people who's just been through trauma and the young people. I'm a behavior assistant and I'm a tutor, so I work with a lot of kids who dealt with trauma, and that's what I want to do. I want to reach out and I want people to know that it's okay to talk about it, to share your trauma, but it's not okay to stay there. You don't have to stay there, and if it's someone keeping you there, it's you. You be able to reach out and to know that there's people here to help and talk to you and love on you and understand. Some people just feel like you don't understand what I've gone through. You haven't walked a mile in my shoes. And I say, yeah, I probably couldn't put on those pair of shoes and walk it the way you walked it, but I've walked a path in life in a pair of shoes that led me to a lot of situations and wisdom that I have now. So just because we weren't on the same road doesn't mean I was traveling on the road. It just probably was across town from you. It probably was across the
Oh,
world from you. So understand sometimes we might have been walking on the same road together. We might have been crying together. We just didn't know it. We just needed
wow.
time to connect. We needed time to reach each other and say, "Hey, you seem quite familiar. Let's talk about
That's beautiful. I feel like that's your show slogan. Hey, you seem quite familiar. Let's talk about it.
it."
Or let's talk about it. Wow.
Yeah.
What do you feel is next for you? Like regarding
Well,
your dream of doing that, like what do you feel is the next step? Because you love to speak, public speaking.
yeah, I had to change my
It's okay.
earpiece. One moment. I'm like, let me change my earpiece real quick. All right. So you said, what is the next step for me?
Yeah, like regarding your dream, like you're a great speaker. Aw. Is that
Okay,
the
that's the
younger
little
one?
one right now. Yeah. I'm not done talking, but could you be respectful enough to let me talk? Okay. Would you stand right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our last question.
Okay. So I feel like for me,
Mhm.
um, I think the biggest thing that was, hindering me
Mhm.
from that dream was the fear of failing. I know that was the biggest thing hindering me because I'm so wanting to always get it right, and I know it's not going to be perfect, but I feel like if there's things that I haven't accomplished, that I was so fearful that in the way that I approached it and how I my idea of how I was going to get it, um, would the fear of just messing up, the fear of not doing it well. So I need to step outside of myself, remove myself, and say, "Hey, do it afraid, do it uncertain, make the mistakes, and learn from it."
Do you feel like you're going to call in that opportunity for public speaking, like manifest it?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's always just been just something that I adore, something that I love, and something that I'm like, yeah, I need to. Every time I think I need to get better at it, I think I need to do well at it. I do it with no problem. So it's just me. It's just me in,
Mhm.
in in my way in regards to it because I feel like how people almost want a script. They have to like write stuff down and get stuff together. Where for me, I don't. But because I don't because I don't sometimes like trust the process and be like, you know what, just go do it. You say trust the process. And because I don't always trust the process, don't go over there. I don't trust the process, I feel like that's just what it is. And it's like once I do it, I'm like, girl, you did this with such a breeze. Like, stop stressing. You're good.
Wow. I think maybe more practice to build a confidence as it happens. I'm still in that phase. Like I'm still always
Hmm.
learning and growing. But I feel like when you give speeches, it takes a lot of preparation to give a
Mm.
proper speech. And like when you go on a bigger stage, and I almost threw up. Like literally when I went to Atlanta to
Wow.
speak like 2 years ago on stage, like an actual stage in
Yeah.
front of an audience, like I felt so sick, like where I felt like I was going to vomit.
Oh, wow.
Even though I can speak other times, right? But just
Hmm.
it's the knowing that you have to do it, on stage, and it's like the
Right.
feeling of just a situation, but it's not
Yeah.
you or the stage. It's just like the label, like you had said that
Yes.
you have to go speak on stage, and that hearing that makes you feel like uncomfortable.
Yes,
But
yes.
it was such a beautiful conversation with you, and I look forward to talking with you more. And yeah, you have a beautiful day. Do you have anything else you want to say to
Absolutely.
people?
I think for just you yourself, just I am grateful for you even having me on your platform. I know that, when I met you as well, you you were always pleasant. We
Yeah,
always
talker.
came
We're
into having a
talkers.
great we're talkers. And some people don't like that.
I
I
know.
had to learn in life, some people be like, oh my gosh, you talk too much. But when you find people who enjoy having these type of conversations, it is like such a treat. So being able to sit on this platform and talk to you it's a blessing for me. It's a treat for me. You know, this is great, and I'm so thankful for you. I'm so thankful for this platform, and I'm just so thankful for where you'll continue to go in life because you'll do
Wow.
great. You're gonna
You
do
too.
great things,
I
and you're
needed
gonna
that
talk to way
today.
more people than you're gonna talk to way more people than us regular folks over here. Um, we somebody, but you're gonna go far, far more
Wow.
than just where you are now.
Wow. What makes you say that?
Because listen, you have to put that out there in the atmosphere, and you
Hmm.
have to trust that it will. Because our current selves is like, yeah, I don't see that right now. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm unsure about that right now. But it's us who have to keep speaking the goodness over ourselves
Hmm.
and say that despite what others say, they may not think it's possible, but it's possible because look at that. We came from talking to each other in a booth where you're talking on this platform right now. So, could
Yes.
you imagine where this and what this would look like
Yes.
later on in life from here? Much
Yes.
bigger than this. It's
Yeah.
much bigger. You have to see it much bigger than this.
I do.
So,
I do.
Yes.
You know, someone reached out yesterday. Someone I know who's very successful. They're a full-time entrepreneur, and they asked me if I see myself on a TV show with this or, you know, number one podcast. Like I do. I've always seen myself. They call me. A lot of people say I remind them of Oprah,
Oh
like
wow.
the Indian Oprah, because of this kind of work that I do, and before my hairstyle and just things of that nature. And to hear that, like, I actually always wanted to work in Oprah's company when I was younger, before I met you when I was like 18, 19. It was always a dream
Beautiful.
for me to, you know, open an orphanage or do that kind of humanitarian work. But I was told my dreams are too big. Oh, how will I afford that? Those kind of things. And when I was
Yes.
19, I actually, hi. When I was 19, I actually had lunch with Stedman Graham, like Oprah's
Oh
partner,
wow.
because he's from Jersey, and I met him and I met his cousins. And that was my first meeting a celebrity experience. And since then, I knew that if I can attract that, I can become
Yes.
a bigger person in life to where I'm known to that level, you know?
Yes. That's a beautiful thing.
It's okay.
Okay, you can go ahead. Thank you.
But
Okay, go ahead. Mommy's coming. I'll get it for you. Thank you.
is she the one you adopted?
Yes, I
Yeah.
got her when she was 1 month and she is now 3 years old.
Wow. But yeah, I definitely see when it's your time, like when you feel called to. I feel like it doesn't happen. You can have a coach, you can have anyone speak, you know, life into you, all those things, but it has to be from within. If nothing shifts within, it's not going to
Yes.
happen. You know, I feel like
Yes.
it's your journey, and I can't tell you when. I know if you know of Marissa Peer and Mel Robbins, and these are elder women who became successful, like later speaking, they're in their like
Okay.
60s, you know,
Right.
60s, and they're millionaires now. So you don't know what the age will be or what that time will be. They never knew. And one of them was an alcoholic before she became successful. So you really
Wow.
don't know. And she was in like about $300,000 of debt.
You
So
don't know because when it's your time,
it's your
it's your time.
time.
Yes.
I'm going to let you
It's
go.
my time. So and it's
Call
soon. So
it.
that's right. Call
Because
it.
you're on here, and I never would have thought, you know, it's like we didn't know that this is something
Yeah.
you said you wanted to do. I think
I
some.
told you, I said, give me,
Yeah.
I said, put me on there, let me know, and I will be on there. And
And the thing is, we didn't even talk about it, or I didn't even know how it was going to go. It just goes with the flow, you know?
yes,
So it's amazing. All right. I'm going to let you go. Thank you, everyone, for tuning
okay.
in and the great energy. And until next time, bye.
Okay, until next time, thank you so much. You have a blessed and beautiful day.
You too. Stay beautiful.
Thank you, you too. Bye.